Welcome back, guys. This is the module on negotiations, and there's a couple of reasons why you're going to hire your realtor. The realtor that you're going to hire, this is their number one job, is negotiations. Now, the realtor is going to have some great connections. They're going to be able to put you in line with 2 or 3 different mortgage agents. They're going to put you in line with 2 or 3 home inspectors. You know that you never should get a list of just one home inspector. You want to be able to make a decision based on, again, the same reason why you hired the realtor. The realtor is always going to have a home inspector and a mortgage agent that they deal with, but don't just choose theirs. Choose the one, because you have to work with these people. Make sure that you have the same feeling for these people that you do for your realtor, because you've interviewed 2 or 3 different realtors. Once you hire that realtor, that doesn't mean that you just use all their people. Get 2 or 3 names, research it, make sure that you're comfortable with that person, make sure that you jive with that person, because when it comes to talking to your mortgage agent, you want to be comfortable. This is not just the biggest purchase of your life, but it's the most stressful and impactful that you're ever going to go through. But the realtor, negotiations are number one. And the reason why they're number one is because we do this every day, and you're relying on us. If you're the buyer, you're relying on us to get the best possible deal for you. If you're the seller, you're relying on us to get the most amount of money that we can. There is no other reason that a realtor is in place. We're not just there to show you homes. We're not just there to write up the paperwork. Our number one job is negotiations. And let me just go over a couple of things with you. These are just minor things, and again, this module is regarding negotiations. There's always a process of negotiations, whether it's with our kids, or it's with our job to get better pay or more benefits. There's always a negotiation going on. But in real estate, your number one goal is to hire the realtor that you feel is going to be able to negotiate this contract for you at the highest level. When an offer is drawn, we're going to submit it. Now, we've talked about this in our previous modules, but when we submit an offer to a selling agent, we set a time frame, and that time frame is what they call an irrevocable period. So as the buyer, we've given the seller an opportunity to make a decision based on our offer for a certain period of time. I mean, you don't want to leave it endless. So anyways, 3 ways that they can come back to us. They can accept the offer. Fantastic. We've done the work. We've seen what the price is in that neighborhood, and we have got a great offer in hand. And the selling agent has gone back to the seller and told them they've done good work and they know exactly what this house is worth. I think that we should take this. So they accept it. The opposite of that is that they reject it. Now, if they reject the offer, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now, if this is your dream home, I've done the work. I'm going to make sure that I am going to minimize the chances of that happening by making sure that I've had thorough discussions with the selling agent and that I am right on price and on conditions, and so those are some of the reasons why we're not going to get a rejected offer. If we get a rejected offer, we've gone in too low, or we've added in clauses that the seller just doesn't like, and that's okay. We can either draw up another offer and resubmit it, and we've sweetened up the deal a little bit, or we can just move on to another house, and that's okay too. 90% of the time, on most of the offers that go through, we're going to get a counter. So we're going to go back and forth, and sellers expect it and buyers expect it. And I have, as working with you as a buyer, I've let you know that this is likely going to happen. So we're going to be going through some negotiations. Counteroffers are going to come back. The seller says, I like it, but I need it to be a little sweeter. So we're going to discuss it to see how much more we would like to go. What are the clauses that we can change? Now, if we get a counter offer, negotiations keep you calm and in control and confident, and I like to work in those areas. I like to be somebody that is able to have that conversation with the selling agent, and because it's always going to be about price or timing or conditions or terms. or even the emotion. And I found a lot of sellers have raised their families in this home. So you're a young family as a buyer and you're coming in, you're looking for maybe a 3 or 4 bedroom, but the seller has already been in your position and they're pricing that home with their heart. They're not pricing it with their head. They've raised their kids there. They've raised their families, the dogs. These are heart-filled emotions, and we need to stay in control. And we need to understand that the buyer's going to have emotions and the seller's going to have emotions. Because remember, the negotiation is the job of the realtors to make sure that everybody understands that, especially for the buyer, that the seller is really just emotional because they see their kids in that house and they see their grandbabies in that house. So there's a lot of emotions going on. But you got to remember that if your agent is difficult to get a hold of and you're already emotional going in and you've hired an agent that's not responding to you and they're not getting back to you, can you imagine how difficult it's going to be to deal with that realtor when it comes time for negotiations? And you're going to be in the dark. Now, so when we think about tips for negotiations, here's a few things. If you're not using Hanlon Realty to do your offer, that's okay, because what this module is about is education. Now, few things that you're going to be able to do as a buyer, you're going to be able to work through that home inspection. And this is the reason why the home inspection is so important, because it uncovers issues that the seller may or may not know are there. And if you use a home inspector, somebody that you jive with, somebody that understands what it is you're feeling, that gives us power when it comes time for negotiating the price. If there's a problem with the home and you still love that home, even after some small issues have come up, we're going to be able to get adjustments. We're going to be able to either get the seller to fix the home and provide receipts that they fixed the home. These are things that we're able to negotiate, and we're able to negotiate the inspection results. The other thing is the seller's motivation. Now, when a seller is selling a home, there's always a motivation to start that process. Either they're going through a divorce, or they've purchased a new home, or something is happening in their life. And if that's happening, I, as your realtor, really want to get as much of that information as I can. I want to have power, and we want to give you information to understand what's happening with the motivation of that seller. In a non-competitive market, it allows us to ask the seller to throw a bit of money at the closing cost just to help out with, especially for the first-time buyers. Now, you got to remember, guys, money is not made when the house is listed. The money is made when the house is negotiated. And that's the reason why you hire a realtor that has negotiation skills. Now, one of the things that I want to just mention about Hanlon Realty is market intelligence. We spend a lot of time, and we've become master negotiators in real estate because we spend a lot of time with the numbers. So right from the time that you start looking, we're going to have a great understanding of the numbers. And that's very, very important when it comes time to negotiating the offer on that home. And I like to stay in emotional control, because tensions, it breaks deals. It's very, very difficult to come back from saying the wrong words or getting the sellers emotional. I mean, it's very, very difficult to come back from that. And that's really what creates a lot of animosity with realtors and buyers and sellers. But at the end of the day, if I can keep you stable and keep you from becoming too offside emotionally, it works out for everybody. The strategy, knowing when to push and when to pause. So I'm a good listener. I really like to understand what it is the seller is looking for and then relay that information back. When I need to push, I can be aggressive because I am a competitor at heart. And faith. So I operate with honesty and integrity, and God is going to open and close doors for me and for you. I just want to make sure that we are both prepared when we walk through them. This is the module on negotiations. There couldn't be a more important module. I just want you to know that Hanlon Realty is on your side.